I'll tell you guys, most of you are from the western side of the world, and I'm in the eastern, kind of Russia and East, and like we have really deep academic tradition. I know in a lot of schools it's kind of dying off, like, you know, like let's be all expressive and, you know, artistic and not care about the really basic steps. But I am a huge believer that those basic steps are the absolute necessary fundament in building up your artistic skill. So my goal here is not going to be teach you how to draw an apple or specific things, but rather I will help you to take the right steps to develop your vision, your eye. And if you're going to be doing everything we do here during the art lessons, you'll be fine. That's all you need. All right, so I hope you're in, guys. So the first things first, your tools are very important, right? You want to have a good pencil, guys. You know, if you're from Europe, something like Faber-Castell, Koch&R is always I can recommend. I've got here this set. You can start with a set, but you don't really need. I would recommend you all, as a beginner, get HB pencils. That's all you need. Don't even bother about anything else. HB pencil. Just plain HB pencil. I don't think I have one. But let's assume that this is HB pencil. Get few of those. Pretty Blue, thank you so much for hosting. So I'm gonna teach you how to sharpen a pencil right now properly. This is very important. So everybody usually has got a pencil sharpened like this, right? Look. I apologize for my hands. I was painting yesterday and I'm gonna get myself a gloves, but I simply can't get them clean. I apologize if they're like weird looking. It's a paint from that picture. So look at these. You know what these are? Throw them out in the trash bin. Not really. I only have this because I sometimes sharpen up my graphite sticks that I use sometimes for sketching, because with you don't even need this to sharpen it. It's sometimes easier, you know. Graphite stick is something like really raw, but these things give you this kind of pencil. This is not what we're gonna have. Just you will have to forget about existence of this guy. Your best friend is gonna become a knife. It's kind of nice, come together with a replaceable blade, so in case it gets dull, you just replace and you can. Yeah, you want to have it sharp. The reason why you want to have a nice pencil, they're not expensive. Maybe they're gonna be like 3 times more expensive, but they're gonna be under €1, for instance. This is like 60 cents or something. It's a decent pencil, not the best one. Koch&R Tyson Dior is the best pencils I could ever recommend, but I don't have anyone at the moment because I used them all up. So what you want to do, why you want to have a good pencil, because the wood and the graphite is going to be so much easier to work with. With the cheap pencils, your knife is going to stick in and the wood is horrible. It's just going to break apart and it's not going to be cool. I already used the blade a little bit, so I'm just going to chop off some of the blades just to get access to the sharpest ones, so my process is as easy as possible. But I'm able to sharpen, but if it, by any chance is something, I'll join. Okay. As I said, I'm starting at a very, very, very ground level. So little by little, you want to start cutting into the wood and slicing off. The result that we're going for, guys, in the end, this is like perfectly sharpened pencil. This is what we need. Exposed graphite, sharp at the tip. It could be even sharper. So that's what we're gonna be going for. All right. So slow. Don't try to cut into wood a lot. It's gonna be hard. Like just slightly, little by little, grab with a sharp knife and just chop off the wood from the sides, rotating the pencil. I mean, is it okay? So now that we got the wood off, like. There's a really big chunk of a graphite. You can see, you know, just the third of a pencil sharpened like this. The graphite currently is really thick, and this is not what we want. The best way to do is have a sandpaper and rub it around, but I've never used that kind of a technique. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna gently, don't apply pressure or else you'll break your graphite. Just gently scratch and turn around, scratch with a blade. You can see there's a dust, and that's because, you know, the graphite itself is getting sharper. Here's a regular resharpened pencil. Regular versus drawing pencil. Big difference, right? So what happens when you draw with this kind of pencil? For instance, you cannot use a side. Oh my god, cat is in the house. Beware. I'll protect the keyboard so he doesn't. So if you want to, first of all, when you're drawing tends to be intense, so you swing a lot, which means you use up, oh my god, kitty, you use up a lot of graphite, right? If you have a pencil like this, in order to keep it sharp, the only very tip is sharp. In order to keep it sharp, you have to be every other second, you know, just doing this movement. And that's only if you're working on a detail, which allows you to hold pencil like a pen when drawing. But if you're drawing, your position should be like this. You should hold your pencil like this, and you should work more with this side of it. And what happens? You end up rubbing with the wood, paper with the wood, and not the graphite. And look, I don't know if this is visible. You are unable to have a nice thin line. I'll show it later when I have an easel set up, so you'll see the difference. So that's why it's kitty. It's very important to have graphite exposed, and just that's the way to go. What kind of paper, guys, are you having? I'm not sure how is it going with the paper around your area. I would recommend you all getting something like 200-gram paper, and Wattman paper is the best paper you could possibly get. It is really smooth, so especially when you're learning, when you're doing a lot of back and forth steps, you're erasing, that paper allows a lot of, you know, screwing up. For instance, usually when I draw, you know, my drawaways, it's like very thin and very kind of soft paper. If I would be doing a lot of erasing, I would rub a hole into that, and we want to kind of avoid that, you know, just makes things a little bit easier. I got a news for you. This is absolutely perfect pencil. The tip is super sharp, like a needle. So with this kind of pencil, you got to make sure when you proceed onto drawing not to apply the pressure, because it's just gonna rip. Do you have an easel? Do you have an easel? Because I think I'm gonna get myself a proper drawing easel, because I don't have one. Because I don't have one, I can offer you some solutions. What we want to have, our ultimate goal right now, some of you might want to improvise. If you don't have a drawing easel, like painting easels are different, the ones in the background that I have here are not gonna work for what I want to do. So we want to have our paper approximately at the eye level. So I got A3 paper. Actually, it would be perfect for today to have a bigger one. But for beginner, A3 paper sheet. You want to have for each week a new clean A3 paper sheet. Alright, so we need a paper that's in front of our eyes. One thing, you want to sit on the edge. You don't want to like lie in whatever. This is not how you draw. You want to sit with a straight back at the edge of the whatever you're sitting on, with a straight back. And alright, I'll show you some options. I had this cardboard. I would take it on a plein air. It's a little bit dirty because I used it a little bit. Just a piece of I got in a paper shop. It's a solid, smooth surface, and I can use this. It's not like perfectly on my eye level, but it's enough. So what you want to do is take your paper and secure it closer to the top as possible, because you know you don't want it to be here, because our goal is to have it as close to the eye level as possible. So you can secure it with a clips, but I don't have one. So what I'm gonna do instead, I'll take a duct tape and tape this in place. A little darker, but at least you can see things. Okay, so let me explain to you, first of all, why, no. While we're talking, guys, first task, I assume you got to this point, have you? I hope you have gotten to this point, so what you want to do, that's why it's better to have a bigger paper. We want to hold a pencil properly. We are so used to drawing like this, you know. First of all, we draw on the table. I'll tell you why drawing on the table is a no-no. Because we're going to be working with the objects in the distance. So we're going to be trying to draw boxes and whatnot. Like pictures in the distance. And when you're trying to transfer something that you see on your table, and then you look and your canvas is, you know, horizontally, what happens is you got a perspective over there. It's already, if you don't understand perspective, it's going to be hard for you to, you know, process it. And then you have to distorted sort of an image. You have to transport onto piece of sheet that is horizontal, and it's gonna become really hard. That's why we want to have simplify as much as possible, have direct view, you know, so we can just copy paste from what we see. And also it's really important to have as little distance as possible, so your eye so you don't have to, you know, for instance, turn all the 360 degrees to watch that apple and then turn here and try to memorize it. You kind of copy pasting with your eyes, if that makes sense. So that's why we want to have it like this. We don't hold the pencil like this is okay. We'll usually draw like right like this, right? Holding in a normal way. This is okay when we're working on a little tiny details. We can take the pencil in this manner, and when it's really something small we want to work on. First of all, good luck holding this type of a pencil that way and not breaking it, right? We got this super long needle, so the only proper way to hold pencil is actually to hold it like this with your entire hand, sort of, you know. You hold it in your hand and secure it with your first two fingers like this. So I assume first task, we're not gonna start drawing any complicated figures and not even a boxes at this point. What I want you to learn is and understand that you gotta move your entire arm in this manner, you know. You don't do this. You sort of work with your entire arm. That's important, all right? That's gonna make your hand steady. You're gonna be able to draw big lines, you know, and just there. I'm sorry, my internet doesn't allow me to watch. This is gonna be just a practice for you to practice the line. This very movement I introduced you. So remember, you sit on the edge of your chair. You have your easel, you know, right in front of you, or on your knees. That's approximately the distance you want to have. Longer is going to be too hard for you to reach. Closer is going to be you're not going to be able to see the entire drawing. So you want to have it on your knees. That's a perfect distance. Place two dots on your drawing. You probably don't see that, but I'm gonna start. I'm then gonna place a big dots. So you see, I'm exaggerating those. Just two tiny dots, and then try to connect them. Hold the pencil in the proper manner, and go ahead and try to connect. Don't try to connect them from the very first time. It's okay. You're gonna miss. This is just to practice lines, okay? You got that. Then make another dot and connect those. Remember to move your entire hand. That's what you want to do. Don't apply the pressure or else you'll break your pen. Very lightly, softly, there is no pressure or anything. Absolutely relaxed. And try to draw long lines and connect those points aimlessly. That's the first thing you want to learn. You broke your hand. Hi, 10,001. Hello. Hello, how are you? Alright, so keep on practicing this for a good while. That's what you want to do. No pressure at all. That's why a bigger paper would be better for this, but it's okay. We're gonna be working on A3 papers all the time. Any questions so far? So just follow, just try to connect those dots. So many triangles. Yeah, how many triangles?